Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine. Yeah, here to talk to you about a little movie. Gonna do a movie review. Usually have a partner. We usually do like a little discussion with two people, but partner couldn't make it, so I'm gonna just go ahead and give my thoughts on this movie myself. The movie is Solo, a Star Wars story. Went to see that this weekend. We didn't get a chance to get together for the review, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this solo. Okay. Anyway, so all right, Han Solo, Star Wars story. Now you know when Disney bought Star Wars, they the Star Wars IP. You know they was gonna relaunch all these movies, and they got your main stories, and then they got their standalone stories. And they standalone stories, excuse me, pretty much been prequels. So they went on ahead and make a spinoff of Han Solo. Now I know Han Solo is a lot of people's favorite character, but I don't think nobody really wanted this movie. Like Han is cool, but a movie about him, I just wasn't feeling. Me, myself, personally, I wasn't feeling. But I was cool, like, okay, maybe it could be fun. If you think about it, maybe him and Chewie had some nice little adventures before they got with Luke. So, okay, let's see what's going to happen, you know? So they decided to make this movie. Now, this is 10 years before The New Hope. So before he met Luke in the gang, it was 10 years before that. And this is when him and Chewie first got together. Him and Chewbacca first got together. This is the Chewbacca is his co-pilot. He's the tall Wookiee. So this movie pick up where Han is he a kid and he kind of like a teenager. I guess like like 19 or something, and he's been living on this planet, and it's like a lawless planet. So they basically you got to get what you can to survive or whatever. And Han first get the Millennium Falcon or whatever. So as everybody know, Han got the Millennium Falcon from Lando playing cards or some kind of game. Like he got it in gambling or whatever. He won it, and everybody kind of know that, but nobody really know exactly how it went down. But I don't think nobody was really asking to see how they went down, but it's fine. So this movie, I had a few days to digest it, and the more time go by, the more it's more of a mess to me. I thought it was kind of, when I first saw it, I actually enjoyed moments in this movie though. I had fun with it while I was watching it, but then when I think back on it, it's kind of a mess. It was very clear that it was more than one director in this movie. Because I'm telling you like this, when this movie first started off, you saw it was things in it that was just too goofy. Way too goofy. Like, okay, what is this? This is a kid movie? What's going on here? They had big ass puppets and shit, and that it was like, okay, what? It's like they try to give you that Last Jedi feel, almost like a Jabba the Hutt kind of deal, but it was kind of like funny, and the gags were like very childish, and I don't want to say exactly what it was, but it was things in there that was like, oh my god, I'm rolling my eyes. I'm thinking kids might think that's funny. Kids are like that, but your target audience, probably an older crowd, like, come on, man, get on with this shit, But they want to make something you can take your kids to see too. I mean, it's cool. So it had some fun stuff in there, and then it go to another. It'll have another tone that's okay. It's still kind of funny, but it's more serious, and it's like the tones are so uneven to me that I'm like, okay, I can tell that it was different directors with different directions that they wanted to go. So the movie had some funny stuff in there, man. This is one scene, man, where Han and Chewie, like when they first meet, Alden Ehrenreich character, Han, do something so funny, man. I laughed so hard I teared up. I laughed so hard on this part, and I don't want to say what it is, but it's something that happened in early in the movie that just had me just turn up. It was too funny. So then you gotta think: is this supposed to be a comedy or is this supposed to be serious space adventure? Which you can do both, like Guardians of the Galaxy, but the original Guardians of the Galaxy. But it was too funny. It was so goofy that I'm looking like, okay, I don't know exactly what they're going for here, So, so as the movie went on, it stayed kind of bland to me. It didn't really go to that level of, oh, this is an amazing movie. It's just bland. So we could talk about some of the performances. Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo wasn't as bad as I thought it was. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it wasn't great to me. I seen some of the Harrison Ford mannerisms in him, like things he would do. Like Harrison Ford got this little pointing thing. As Han, he point a lot, and sometimes it's like for no reason. It just when he talking, he needs to be pointing. He kind of did a little bit of that, but he didn't do it too much. He did enough that you can say, oh, that's just a little quirk he has, not something he always does, So I was cool with that. So some of his performance as Han was all right. But what threw me off was his kind of nasally voice. He got this real like nasally way of talking that sounds nothing like Harrison Ford. Nothing like Harrison Ford. Like Harrison Ford talk more deeper. He's not nasally at all. But this guy was very nasally where he just didn't seem like he was breathing down his nose when he was talking. We're fine now. We're fine. It's all good. And that part threw me off. Like this don't seem like Han, but some of his acting was close to it. So it was kind of like you just kind of gotta okay. I'm gonna go with this being Han, but I don't feel like this is a young Harrison Ford. But I'm gonna go with this being Han. So that's cool because sometimes you can take a character. If you got two actors playing the same character, you can say, this is my version of this character, opposed to this person. Because sometimes you will be in danger of imitating that actor more than you doing that character. So, yeah, and that was some of the things with the Donald Glover performance that some people probably had a problem with. Because I'm telling you like this, I feel like Donald Glover playing Lando took two different directions. I feel like the directors had him do different things. And when I say that is, it was scenes that seems like he was imitating Billy D. Williams, and a real good one too. And then it was scenes that seemed like he wasn't trying to do that at all. Where it's like, I feel like one, because it was multiple directors. So one director say, hey, imitate Billy D best you can. And the other director's like, no, make it your own. Just make this character your own. I feel like it was two different ways. Because this is one scene that I feel like he was totally imitating Billy D. And there's another scene I feel like he wasn't. He was being himself, or he decided to play Lando differently in other scenes. So it's weird. It's kind of uneven that way. Because there's one scene, I can't remember exactly what it was. Okay, yeah. Okay, he was talking to somebody, and I swear I was like, okay, that is spot on Billy D. And in other scenes, he was talking to somebody, and I'm like, okay, he's not being Donald Glover. He's not imitating Billy D. He's being Lando. It is kind of a difference, So I'm looking like, okay, that's because of the direction. I believe that's because of the direction he was given. And one being the original directors that was inexperienced in dealing with actors, where Ron Howard took over, I'm pretty sure it got it became something different. So that was actually clear to me when the two differences of the directors, the style, the tones, everything it was very clear. So that made this kind of a messy movie to me, where I was feeling like, okay, so this movie is taking me on a roller coaster ride, man, where 1 minute you got, real funny goofiness, and next minute it's more serious. So because of those uneven things, I kind of just like really, really wasn't feeling a lot of stuff in this movie, man. And and I'm gonna tell you, the best part in this movie had to be the castle run. Because the castle run is gonna be in the movie. Because that's Han thing. He always brag. I did the castle run 12 parsecs. If you remember in A New Hope, the first thing he told Luke and them when they was trying to buy it, when they was looking for a pilot, and he was like, "You ain't heard of my ship, dude. I made the castle run in 12 parsecs. What you need, bro? You know what I'm saying? That's a big deal. That's his whole thing. He always, that's his thing. He brag on that. So they did the castle run. And that was cool. That was cool as a motherfucker. I will admit, that was probably the best part of the movie for me. There's some parts that people might roll their eyes at because they kind of played the original Star Wars theme as they was doing it. But I'm gonna tell you the truth, it was kind of epic. It was lame, but it was also epic. It was one of them like, okay, that's epic for me because I'm an original fan. But other people might find that a little lame though, but whatever. So let's talk about this ending, man. The ending of this movie, man. Ooh, I didn't like the ending. The ending was very, very cliched, very Hollywood by the numbers ending. Very predictable. Nothing special. Very predictable. And I'm like, it just like. Like y'all could have done something better with that. I mean, they tried to pull a little twist on you. Where they give you, somebody shows up who betrayed me, and somebody shows up, and you're supposed to be surprised. You know what I'm saying? No surprise. It was obvious. So I'm looking like, oh my God. So you try to throw a little twist, that didn't work, and then you try to give me the ending little, a climax to the movie, which is very, you seen it coming a mile away, and I'm like, oh my God, this, y'all losing me, and you didn't wrap up, and then when they ended with giving a New Hope reference, like, hey. You say something that's about to happen in A New Hope, and you be like, "Oh man, come on with that." But it did give you a cameo. It gave you a cameo from one of your original characters that was a welcome surprise. It was a welcome surprise for me. So I'm gonna give this movie a rating. Most people don't know my rating scale. My rating scales go from being the best. It's an epic, all the way down. Go down one, a dope. It's pretty good. It's a real good movie, real good solid movie. All right, meaning that's self-explanatory. It was just all right. It was all right. It was okay. It was average. It was passable. A whack, meaning it wasn't good at all. Hot garbage means the worst piece of shit that I ever seen, and they should not be released. So I'm gonna give this movie all right. I give it all right because I feel like it was messy. It was some things. The tones were uneven, man. It just it could have been better. It could have been a lot better. I think they rushed some stuff, and not to mention all the production problems. All the stuff that went wrong with the casting, and I mean with the directors. All the stuff that went wrong with the directors and the production and the acting, saying Alden Ehrenreich wasn't needed an acting coach and all that. All that showed to me. All right, moving on. I'm looking forward to the next Star Wars movie, Episode 9. I hope they don't blow it. But these Star Wars spinoff movies, I'm really starting to get burnt out on them, man. I don't want to see Obi-Wan. I don't want to see Boba Fett. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm starting to lose all my because these you're not knocking it out of the park. Now, I'm not just saying I'm tired of these characters, but you ain't doing nothing with these characters, man. You know, I just wish they expand upon the universe and give us new characters, something, just something. But I'm not feeling these people. I'm not feeling these movies, the spinoffs. All right, so that's my review for Solo the Star Wars.